What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to CFL Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans. Today, we're going to be talking about the best game of the season, the West Final between the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the BC Lions, where your BC Lions have a chance to win for the
Bombers win, baby! Jake, you're taking too long with the intro. I cannot wait for this crap. I am too excited. You're damn right, the Bombers win.
They got a chance to add. They got a chance to add to the collection right here.
Shit! I forgot to bring my rings down.
They forgot to add. They have a chance to add to the collection right now. It's gonna be okay. Let's get out of the way. I was right about this game. Lions couldn't handle the weather. I was right about this game. Nathan Rourke
you're right.
Nathan Rourke couldn't handle the weather. I just want to put that out right now. I know lots of people said it, but I was right. Nathan Rourke could not handle the weather. His worst game of his CFL campaign. 20 for 37 on the game. 54%. 300 yards still because the man's insane. But 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Longest throw of the game, 42 yards. That's not going to be enough to beat the master that is Zach Collaros on only 20 throws.
No. That does not beat
yards.
With what Chef Collaros is cooking up on his side of the field.
All Zach needs is 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He owns you. He owns you after that.
And do you know why you only needed 178 yards from Zach Collaros? Because Brady Oliveira gets 130 yards tonight. 130 yards for Brady Oliveira. Brady Oliveira was outstanding tonight.
This was Brady Oliveira's breakout game, kind of similar to how we saw Andrew Harris last year have this amazing breakout game after an okay season battling injuries. This was the rushing game of the year for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%.
Amazing game there in that department. They dominated the rushing side of the ball. 130 yards compared to 20 yards rushing, being the most yards rushed by the Lions. And again, the Lions weren't able to rush the ball because they put all their faith in Nathan Rourke, and Nathan Rourke crumbled under the cold. Was this Lions team terrible tonight? No, they only lost by 8 points. They put up a good fight and were able to try to maintain, a close time at this game. But
absolutely.
But this was a prime example of a team like the Lions being young and inexperienced in the CFL and coming into an atmosphere like Winnipeg where it's just too hostile.
They were just
too cold.
They were too outmatched. They were outmatched.
And
it's just that simple. BC, they're a great team. They're gonna keep getting better, and someday they will have their time. But the thing is, the Bombers right now, the Bombers are in their prime. It's funny. They're in their third year in the sense of they won the 2019 Grey Cup. They won the 2021's Grey Cup. Sorry, and then they have an opportunity to win their third Grey Cup in a row. But honestly, it doesn't look like there's any dip. It really doesn't. No, and we'll have to see at how much the Bombers if the Bombers will win the Grey Cup, and if so, how much they'll be able to keep this offseason. But the Bombers don't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon.
I don't think the Bombers have anything to worry about. You look at, you're not only just talking about the fact that they're going up against a weaker team in Toronto, but the fact that you look at just the depth that this team is. Me and Carter have harkened back on this so much on this channel since its start date. It's that the Bombers, you might have a guy in the practice squad. Now, he might just be some okay guy, fits the system well, nothing special. The moment that you call on a guy that you need to put into a situation, they know the system through and through. Their quarterbacks and surrounding players believe in them. It doesn't matter if they're a practice squad guy or a guy that hasn't played ever. They believe in you. And you see that every game out there. The Bombers just are able to pluck from a depth of players that they can put in anywhere. And you look at a guy like Brady Oliveira, who's been in the league now for 3 years, comes in, and he was insane tonight. He's only getting better. Now he's going to be facing his mentor and his favorite, probably is his hero, in Andrew Harris in the Grey Cup game, a local legend as well, because for Brady Oliveira being from Winnipeg. And you see games like this. Nick Dembski as well tonight. Nick Dembski tonight was amazing. 5 out of 6 on the attempted receiving, 74 yards. His longest catch of the game being 40 yards. Amazing. Brady Oliveira even on the receiving end of things tonight. His longest receiving there was 37 yards. Everything about this team tonight screams success. Dalton Schoen depth. Drew Wolitarsky, depth. Rasheed Bailey, depth. Even Greg Ellingson, who didn't catch anything, was still out there and playing good football game, and the whole team was meshing well. This is exactly why the Bombers are so scary, because like the Lions are a deadly team, but it doesn't matter.
Yep. And you know what? And you know, if we're gonna start talking about the receiving core, you got guys like Rasheed Bailey, Drew Wolitarsky, Greg Ellingson, Dalton Schoen, and they hardly even needed to bloody use them tonight against against what is the hardest opponent the Bombers could have possibly had. The Bombers are a team known for throwing the ball. They were able to beat the next best team in the CFL without hardly having to use their greatest assets.
I'm just gonna go and say it. The Lions are the best receiving and throwing team in the CFL, because Claros is great, but you look at the numbers. I would think when you just look at numbers as a unit with what you get from your quarterback and the guys as well on that receiving and rushing, the Lions' offense is just so much more deadly and explodable than what the Bombers are. But the Bombers are a polished samurai sword, a katana basically. They don't need to come out there with a machine gun and put 40 rounds into you. They take one slice, one clean cut through you, and they win games that way. And that's what it was. Claros was like a Jedi Master going through. It was like watching Anakin Skywalker walk into the room,
Jedi Temple.
The Jedi Temple. That's literally what it felt like. It's like the Lions are good. They're not bad, but what are you gonna do against a master that only needs one cut with a sword to take you down?
And one thing that I have to talk about is it's quite something the way that Buck Pierce has put this all together with the Bombers offense. He has made everyone, and that means starters, backups, anyone in the system knows the offensive playbook through and through. If shit hits the fan when they're on the field and there's a miscommunication, they're able to make a simple call and put something out of nothing. That's one of the problems that BC had today, was that, you could see a little bit of a lack of adaptability in the sense of, when the crowd got loud and they couldn't hear each other, they panicked. There was no hand signal basically saying, hey, just run a straight route or run a nine or run a dagger or whatever. There wasn't that. There was that disconnect, and that really cost them. And a perfect example about the Bombers being able to adapt on the play on the line is Dakota Prukop comes in. Your backup quarterback comes in for short yardage. He goes to do the play, but then sees that Rasheed Bailey is just way too available to pass up. They were going to go for short yardage. That was the planned play. But then he sees that there's nobody covering Rasheed goddamn Bailey.
Why not take that shot?
How can you not? How can you pass that up? How can you? And they didn't. They got 16 yards out of it. Just being able to make those kinds of plays is really what separates being a good offense and being a great offense. And it makes the difference. That's a difference between maybe a first down, maybe a not, and a first down and a hell of a lot more than that.
Exactly.
So it's the Bombers tonight were I hate to be someone who just constantly just praise, but they earned it tonight. They did.
Hard not to praise a team that has a chance to three-peat again for a Grey Cup. You know what I mean?
For the first time since 1982? Yeah.
So, yeah.
40 years.
Exactly. So I think that says enough about the high praises we can sing for the Bombers. But we want to hear what your guys' high praises are of this game, the loudest fans in the CFL in Canada. We want to know what your guys' thoughts were on this. And for the Lions, I'm a Lions fan too. What was your guys' favorite moment from this season, and what do you think the biggest area of improvement needs to be within that club to see them progress to the next stage of potentially getting to a Grey Cup? We'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys for checking out. Again, this wraps up our recap reviews, whatever you want to call them, for this season, basically going into the Grey Cup. So me and Carter are supposed to want to say thank you, especially Carter. He took a huge weight off my shoulders by helping run this channel by himself when I had a lot on my plate for a couple months there. So, we thank you all all so much. Carter, thank you a lot.
I was always having fun.
Exactly, right? And so we just want to thank you guys again for all the support on the channel. It's been a great year covering football, and we look forward to covering that final game on Sunday against the Toronto Argonauts, where your Winnipeg Blue Bombers will have a chance to three-peat for the first time in a very, very long time. So thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Peace, love, and positivity. As always, go Blue, go! And we will see you guys in the next one.